5pmnation.com.
He's probably spray tanning while he tweets from a Trump Tower toilet in the city. Drop trowel, slamming Hamilton, praising Putin on the pot, taking leaks like Wiki. Right now, he's probably reminiscing on misogynistic kisses of that Megyn Kelly bimbo. Oh, he's gone rogue. She's an overrated flunky. Ni hao, he's actually trying to debunk global warming as a hoax by the Chinese. Oh wow, he's pandering for lunch with a taco bowl on Cinco de Mayo. You're not with us. The Donald tweets what's on his mind. His petty little tweet beefs make headlines. Someone block this thin-skinned lunacy. I hope a nuclear battle is not inspired by this long dinner on his child. Maybe next time he'll think before he tweets. Hey, Mr. President and leader of the free world. Oh, well, the next time that you tweet, oh, just hit delete. Oh, just hit delete. No, really, just delete your whole account. When the Donald tweets what's on his mind, his petty little tweet beefs make headlines. Someone block this thin-skinned lunacy. I hope a nuclear battle is not inspired by this long dinner on his child. Maybe next time he'll think before he tweets. Oh, maybe next time he'll think. Oh, before he tweets. Oh.
Hey, welcome everybody. Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. Man, I'm plagued by little tech issues today, I'll tell you. Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, we'll get through it. It happens once in a while. I think it's the rain when it's dreary out. It makes me sleepy and my brain isn't. I need sunshine for the neurons to be fully firing. Otherwise, I get myself into some trouble. Anyway, welcome. It is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live on WMNH 95.3 FM, emanating from downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, on 95.3 on the FM band, and, of course, on Comcast 97. If you're in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org. And, of course, on Facebook via Facebook Live on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. I see a couple folks in there already. Hello to Christian Cunard, as well as Dr. Jeff Cassell and Chris Rose. Let's see. So today is Thursday, May 2nd, 2019. Big day locally here in Manchester. The taco tour is going on. Our very own Peter White, who is our official taco correspondent, will be calling in. He's one of the judges for the taco tour. He's going around the city in a limo, and he sent me a picture. Pretty fancy stuff So he'll be calling in. Apparently, there's 69 separate locations that are serving tacos today. I don't know how that's even possible, but and I don't know how they're going to get around to all of them to judge their tacos, and I don't know how anybody could eat that much. But as you can hear from my throat, my allergies are still just well, you know, I got a lot going on in the throat there with the phlegm. I'll just say it. It's not a nice word, but it's not like a bad word or anything, but it's not something. It's funnier if you mispronounce it, like if you pronounce the G and pronounce it phlegm. I got some phlegm. Anyway, apparently the pollen counts have been very, very high. I'm not sure. I haven't actually seen any pollen. You know, sometimes when the pollen's really bad, you can actually see the pollen. It almost looks like it's snowing, all the pollen in the air, but I have not noticed that. But, boy, I can tell. 603-250-6007 is the number to call. 603-250-6007. I think we're getting a visitor in the studio today. We'll see. Of course, by the way, yesterday, exciting show. Yesterday was a wild show if you missed it. But all the shows are available at WMNHradio.org. They are archived there. And, so if you miss anything, you can get them at your leisure. It is an on-demand world. Speaking of, I mentioned Peter White, of course, from the morning show with Peter White and our official taco correspondent. He was here briefly earlier. He was actually getting ready to leave because he had to go and get in the limo and take off and judge tacos. But I was not aware of something that he brought to my attention. So the other day, or was it yesterday, actually? It may have been. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was EZG Eric Gagnon's birthday. And for his birthday show on the morning show, of course, he is the entertainment reporter. And boy, does he bring the entertainment, I'll tell you. Matter of fact, if I have it ready, like I said, I'm having some issues today. Here we go. Why is everything running so slow for me? There we go. The official EZG Eric Gagnon's birthday air horn. So for his birthday show, the wonderful Amanda McCarthy was here performing live. And I've known Amanda for a long time. I've interviewed her several times on another program that I do. Never had her in on this show. We'll have to have her in. But so apparently EZG, they were talking about it. Now, I missed the part where he actually was weeping, but I caught when they were talking about it after the fact. And I thought that Eric was just kind of, maybe he teared up a little bit during Amanda's performance. I had no idea that, no. It was more than just tearing up. It was full on just weeping, bawling. It was this.
I don't know why.
That was EZG, Eric Gagnon, showing his softer side.
I don't know why.
Yeah, see, apparently very, very emotional. Now, I must tell you, I had a similar reaction once, seeing the band Slayer live when they broke into Raining Blood. I also...
I don't know why.
So I'm not judging. I'm not picking on anybody about it. We used to have, when Speaker of the House John Boehner was in Congress, he was a very, very emotional man. He would often just weep for no reason. Maybe the latest round of subsidies for big tobacco didn't get passed or something, and he would just cry all the time. But this is just... that is actual real audio of EZG Eric Gagnon. I'll tell you what, it takes a real man to just to show your emotions that way. Matter of fact, I have it on good authority that the People's Mayor, Glenn R.J. Willett, also weeps similarly whenever he's able to adopt a new child. So very exciting stuff. Let's see. Speaking of exciting... my friends, there's a certain website that I really enjoy, and I know there's a lot that's been happening with William Barr testifying, and then today William Barr not testifying, and we'll get into all that, I promise you. But as important as all that stuff is, and it is the hot political story of the moment, we do have some other some housekeeping things that we need to address that I am concerned about. By the way, I'm not sure I remember to give out the number. Like I said, I started the show a little rough with some tech issues. 603-250-6007 is the number to call. 603-250-6007. But, I do enjoy this website, rightwingwatch.org. I feel like I learn a lot from it. I find useful information. I find out about things going on that I had no idea were happening. And then I see this. According to a conservative commentator and pro-Trump conspiracy theorist Bill Mitchell, the Democrats have really become the party of Satan. I had no idea, my friends. Now, look, I am agnostic. However, that doesn't mean I want to be a part of the party of Satan. Now, I was a Democrat up until around the mid-2000s, and then I did decide to become an independent, but I'm going to have to do something about my current registration. You know, in 2016, I made sure I was registered as a Democrat so that I could vote for Vermin Supreme in the primary, and I intend to do so again in 2020. I do believe that he is the best hope for America. He and toothbrushes and ponies are the best hope for America. Hello to Jeff Scumpy Lorenz, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. I heard Scumpy on the morning show today. Hello, Scumpy. So I am technically currently registered as a Democrat, even though I generally support independent candidates because I want to do as much as I can to help damage and tear down the two-party system. But I'm going to have to do something about my registration if this is in fact true. I don't want to be a part of the party of Satan, even if it's only, a formality, just, on paper. That's just terrible. So what we'll do is I'll play the audio here. It's about 2 minutes long. Bill Mitchell will explain. We can all learn together how the Democrats have, in his view, become the party of Satan. And I know, I always like to remind you, consider this a disclaimer, if you will. I know that many of you hear things like this and you're very skeptical. You don't believe that this is, that he is in fact speaking in truth. You think that he's probably just some crazy guy. I understand that. But hey, sometimes crazy people, look, when John F. Kennedy said we're going to the moon, I'm sure people thought he was crazy. Am I right? But what happened? We went to the moon. Okay? So let's listen to him explain. I understand your skepticism, but let's listen to him explain, as is the unofficial policy of the show, not only with open minds, but if you don't mind, with open hearts as well. Here we go.
I love you guys. Come back down here. He said,
okay, for some reason, there's other audio playing. I need to figure out why. Hang on. Oh, this show, it's Gremlins today. I've got Gremlins. That's what it is. Okay, I figured that one out. Man, I'm having a hard time today. But it's not, none of it is a malfunction of any of the equipment that I'm using. It's all my own, like, I don't know if it's my ADD or what, but, all right, let's try this again. I want to make sure we get this right because this is important. This is important to know, especially if you're a Democrat. You want to be aware. All right, so here it is.
I love you guys. I just pray that you MAGA on. Pray for Attorney General Barr. Pray for Donald Trump, that they have the wisdom of Solomon going forward. Okay, that they have the wisdom of God and the strength and the fortitude going forward to fight against these powers and principalities. At this point, we're fighting against evil, folks. This feels like the last days sometimes. Some of these things that Democrats are doing, they really have become the party of Satan. As a matter of fact, on my Twitter feed, here's the thing. My Twitter feed is just inundated with trolls. On my Twitter feed, 5 different times, I have said, I believe the Democrats are the party of Satan. I dare any Democrat to come on here and refute it. And those tweets will get tens of thousands of impressions, will get hundreds of thousands of likes, and yet you do not will get one Democrat coming on there and saying, no, we're not the party of Satan, we're good Christians. Never once. Never once. It's like in their contract, they're not allowed to deny it.
All right, hang on. I have to interject something here. Don't worry. I mean, we're only halfway through the clip. I want to hear the rest of it because I want to hear him out. I want to be fair to this gentleman and give him a fair hearing and allow him to air his points. However, I have to tell you, it seems to me, shouldn't the burden of proof be on him? Like if someone said to me, Matt, I think you worship Satan. I'm not sure exactly what I would then do, practically speaking. How would I proceed in going about proving that I, in fact, do not worship Satan? How could I prove to him that I don't? I'm not sure. I know that I don't. I know that's the truth. But how would I prove it to him if someone were to make an accusation? I mean, in a way, it's like the witches in Salem. They were accused of being witches. Well, how do you prove you're not? It's like trying to prove a negative, So I think the burden of proof, again, I want to hear him out. We'll hear his full points. But I think the burden of proof is on him to somehow show that the Democratic Party is the party of Satan and why he believes that, rather than it being on Democrats to go on to his program and prove that they're not. Okay, let's hear the rest of this.
No, it's weird. And that sounds like hyperbole to say that they're the party of Satan, but these are the people that are in favor of drugs coming across the border. They're in the favor of sex trafficking.
I didn't know that they were in favor of drugs coming across the border.
Trafficking.
I didn't know that they were in favor of drug trafficking. I was not aware of that. That's or sex trafficking. Is that what he said? Sex trafficking? Any kind of trafficking. I didn't know that Democrats were in favor of these things. That's interesting.
They're in favor of late-term abortion. Do you realize that okay. Almost 1 million babies are aborted in the United States every year? Do you realize that 40 million babies are aborted worldwide? Do you realize that in World War II, there were 80 million deaths from World War II? And that was a 4-year war. In 1 year, we do 40 million worldwide. That in 4 years, 160 million babies are murdered.
I can't handle all this math, just so you know. I don't know if y'all are keeping up. I'm not.
Aborted around the world. That's twice as many people as were lost in all of World War II, and not a bomb is dropped, not a gun is fired. It is just in these abortion clinics worldwide. It's absolutely sick. It's absolutely devastating, and this cannot be the party of God. This has to be the party of Satan that's behind that.
So there you go. Well, I mean, the Democrats are the pro-choice party. However, this thing about the Democrats being pro-sex trafficking and pro-drugs coming across the border, that is new and news to me, my friends. I must tell you. All right, let's see here. There's a story that just kind of made me laugh, and I think the visual of it is what makes it fun. Oh, actually, hang on, because we do have a call. Hold the line. The next story isn't always on time. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Oops, wrong number.
Wrong number? Are you sure? That's too bad. I really wanted to talk to whoever that was, but they called the wrong number. They probably were trying to call Howie Carr. He's also on at this time in this market. Howie Carr right now is probably talking about how Bill Barr is the greatest attorney in the history of the world, and how Donald Trump is a brilliant guy. And I could sit here and do Howie Carr's show, actually. I mean, I could rhetorically fillet the president and the entire Republican Party for a few hours, right? He's on for 3 hours, I think. Let's see. No, this actually made me laugh when I saw it, but it's the visual that is most amusing. This is from Mediaite. House Democrat brings toy chicken and KFC bucket to hearing to mock William Barr's no-show. It says here, and I will drop the link to this into the Facebook live chat for those of you listening on Facebook, because you have to see the picture to really appreciate it. And yes, this is childish and silly and juvenile, but it's the times we live in, my friends. Representative Steve Cohen, Democrat of Tennessee, brought props to the House Judiciary Committee hearing that Attorney General William Barr canceled on a ceramic chicken and jumbo bucket of KFC. Barr faced an onslaught when he testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Wednesday and was scheduled to appear before the House Thursday morning, this morning. He canceled the appearance last night after a spat over terms of questioning. The spin House Democrats want to convey is clear that Barr is too scared to appear for questioning on his handling of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation and report. Representative Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the House committee, said Wednesday night that Barr was terrified. And then there's some more photos here of Cohen enjoying his KFC. It's just funny. It's funny. It's silly, but it's funny. Fred Bonig from the Daily Ripple in the Facebook live chat says, wow, I guess the Dems are forcing men to impregnate women so they can force them to have an abortion. I wonder if men stop leaving semen in women that don't want babies, if we could end abortion. Well, that's probably true. That's why I always say, well, the thing about that is, if you look at statistics over the years, over the decades, actually, pro-lifers don't like to acknowledge this, but the rate of abortion has actually been on a decline. It conflicts with their narrative. They want you to believe that since Roe v. Wade, abortion has increased. It has not. It's actually declined. The rate of unwanted pregnancy in this country has steadily declined, and the rate of teen pregnancy in this country has steadily declined. And even in recent years, the average age, apparently, at which teenagers begin to engage in sexual activity has even declined. So we're going in the right direction on a lot of this stuff, and educating people, and I think making contraception available and so forth is the way to go. And I think we need to continue in that direction. It's like when you try to do the exact opposite, it tends to backfire. I remember years ago, and Fred probably remembers this too. Oh, hello to Wayne Noel, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. I think it was the first time that Rick Perry ran for president. He was asked at some sort of, it wasn't a campaign event. Somebody was interviewing him on a stage in front of a auditorium of people, and someone was asking him about, in Texas, Rick Perry was very, very pleased, very proud of the abstinence-only education policy in the state of Texas at the time. No sex ed or anything like that. Abstinence, that's what we're telling the kids. Don't do it. Just like Nancy Reagan with drugs. Just say no, and that's all you need to know, and you're all good. And Rick Perry was very firm in that and very proud of this. And the interviewer, and I wish I could remember who the interviewer was, committed an actual act of journalism and challenged Governor Perry, at the time Governor Perry, on that and said, well, if this works so well, why does the state of Texas have the highest rate of teen pregnancy in the entire country? And Rick Perry didn't really have an answer for that other than, I believe abstinence works. So, and sometimes that's all you need if you're a politician. You just say, this is what I think. So, it's kind of like with climate change. Well, I don't believe it. Therefore, obviously, it's not real. Oh, okay. Someone has entered the studio. It's someone now, this individual, and I'll put the camera on him. He looks familiar, but I almost can't quite place him. It's like someone from the distant past joining us here today. Who are you, sir?
Oh, man, I'm the real John Hopwood, but
oh my
it's
goodness,
the look on my face. I just had the worst taco of my life.
Really?
The taco festival's going
yes.
on. I had $2. Foolishly,
yes.
I spent it at the gal table.
Okay.
Gal, the flower pot, king or queen, whatever you want to call the individual.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you and he shared a taco together? I think that's
no,
nice.
I probably wouldn't have stopped by, but he had gone to what they call the Lou, the...
Oh, yes.
In fact, it was out near the Glen R.J. Ouellette Memorial Outhouse.
Oh, very nice.
In either
very
Memorial Park or Victory Park. I never can get there.
Sure. Well, probably not Memorial, given that he's not actually dead. Hello to Rhonda Ostrowitz-Favero, who joins us in the Facebook live chat.
So I didn't actually see the runt.
Yeah.
But, it's a taco. It says flank steak. And, it had some, like, yellow sauce on it. And you go, this is some type of, like, processed cheese product.
Yes.
Processed cheese, my Heine.
Oh, my goodness.
It
Wow.
was bile.
Bile. They use actual bile. I think that is against the health codes. By the way, Peter White is, I don't know if you're aware of this.
He is the judge, and he's going around in the white limousine.
Well, he's not the judge. He's one of the judges. He's
He
probably
is the judge.
He's
the judge of judges.
The judge of judges. He's
Something
like
biblical.
He's the chief justice of the taco tour. And he's going to be calling in at some point. He's our official taco correspondent.
Well, he has to be. I only had $2. But I'll tell you what, that wasn't flank steak. It was more like horse meat right off the rump.
Horse meat and bile. Wow. That's
a
terrible.
gal. No wonder why the flower shop went under.
That's
false advertising.
That's enough to make Eric Gagnon weep, I'll tell you.
The star of the morning show, who's, I guess now that Peter has become of a different, strata socially than all of us, that somebody had to step up and become the star of the morning show.
Right. So you believe that...
Well, Eric will tell you so himself.
That's going to go right to his head. He is a much bigger star than he was probably a year ago. That's for certain. I mean, his that's why his head gets bigger. Eric does have a giant head. And I
don't
think
really
that's
look
probably
at
why.
Eric that much. We used to go to church together. I guess we're still in the same church, but I just don't go anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, you need to get right with the Lord, my friend. By the way, Fred Bonig from the Daily Ripple in the Facebook live chat says, "Hey, Matt, did you know it's illegal to share polling data with a super PAC, and Barr didn't know Manafort shared it with the Russians? When Senator Cory Gardner mentioned it, it seems Barr never actually read the report." From page 148 of the Mueller report, it says, quote, "Second, Manafort briefed Kilimnik, on the state of the Trump campaign and Manafort's plan to win the election. That briefing encompassed the campaign's messaging and its internal polling data. According to Gates, it also included discussion of battleground states, which Manafort identified as Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota."
Why does it smell like pee in here? It's spring. Are you spraying? Can't we open up a window?
There is a window open, and I would tread.
Was it you, or was it?
I would
maybe
tread
it was
lightly.
Eric.
I would tread lightly because I have a new friend.
Easy G.
No, I have a new friend around here who might come to my defense and challenge
How do you know that
on,
his head's not in this box?
on some of what is in the box? Why do you have a box with a camera on it?
Well, the camera was to take pictures. Although I realize that I have a phone that's just as good as. Oh my God, there's taco stuff. Oh, there's bile on that.
I'm going to defend William Barr on this one, Fred. How can you expect William Barr to know this when he didn't bother to read anything? I mean, come on. You can't expect him to just know stuff when he didn't actually even read. Am I right?
About what?
William Barr, he didn't look at any of the underlying evidence for the Mueller report. He just looked at the report and said, "Oh, yeah, okay, I guess we're good here.
Who cares
Everything's
about that?
cool."
True Grit's coming back to the theaters. John Wayne. The ever controversial, ever relevant John Wayne.
Why would you say he's ever relevant?
Well, he is the symbol of America. And
He's the symbol.
If you actually followed anything other than those niche sites that you do, you would see that an old 1971 Playboy interview, when Playboy used to have like a circulation of 6 or 7 million in a nation of 210 million. And magazines were very important when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
Even when I was at university. And he gave he was John Wayne. Oh, the Indians were selfish about the land. They should have just willingly gave it up rather than fight for their homeland and their resources. Oh. I mean, they should recognize manifest destiny and the white man's burden.
I can see why Public Enemy took that swipe about him in Fight the Power.
What'd they say?
I can't repeat it. It's the one part of the song they mention him and Elvis, and they were wrong about Elvis.
What'd they say about Elvis?
It's the one part of the song where there's they had to edit the radio edit.
What'd they say about Elvis?
They accused him of being racist.
Elvis?
Yes.
How is Elvis ever racist?
Well, it's the concept of he took other people's music and he took black music and was successful with it and profited on it. It's sort of the cultural appropriation argument.
Who is rock and roll? And John Lennon, who was a rock and roller, the most successful one ever, he was a rocker. He said, who is rock and roll music? Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry's rock and roll.
Right.
And what influenced Chuck Berry? He grew up in a neighborhood that I guess was predominantly white in St. Louis. Country music.
Mm-hmm.
Country music, they call it rockabilly. Sun Studios, that was Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Carl Perkins was a rocker. Then they called it rockabilly later.
Mm-hmm.
And the Beatles used to listen to, when they were kids, they lived in Liverpool, the big port, and the sailors would bring records back from America. And they were very influenced by country music. And what's the album? Beatles for Sale is their country album. That's the one that's most influenced. But to say that these things are just demarcated, that's just politics, like jazz. They were great white. We talked about that earlier when I thought you were going to do a real jazz show.
Well, I am a big fan of the smooth
and
jazz.
I mean, yeah, I know. That's enough to put anybody in their grave. I see that format lasted about as long as the Phil Boyd Studge hour.
Easy G really enjoyed it.
He did?
Oh, yeah.
He likes Kenny G?
He loved it so much it made him cry.
Kenny G and Easy G.
Peter never should have told me that sound clip was in there.
Is that really him?
That's Eric Gagnon weeping.
Virtual Eric Gagnon.
No, that's actually him.
Huh. Well, listening to Kenny G would be enough to make anybody. I was thinking something else coming out of you rather than tears. My mother liked Kenny G. Oh, this is great. I found this. I wrote an article Carol Robideau is going to have at Manchester Inkling about True Grit.
Yeah?
Coming out on the 5th and the 8th. The true Grit.
Oh.
And I found this. This is an advertisement from January 1961 in Variety, which is the Bible of the entertainment industry. People campaign for Oscars by buying ads. So here, I'm going to pass this on to you. Tell me what's unique about this ad.
Oh, all right. As we listen to the great... this is my personal favorite jazz song.
You might go, hey, Sue, where did this come from? Maybe that was seahorse meat that the you-know-who put in his tacos.
What's unique?
Maybe you could hold that up to the camera if you have a camera on you.
Well, you were holding it up. People saw it online earlier. I don't know. I don't know what's... Yeah, you did. What?
Well, say who there's 3 ads there. Say the 3 ads.
John Wayne, Best Wishes, Edward Small, and Dalton Trumbo.
What does it strike you about those 2 names, John Wayne and Dalton Trumbo? Read what's on Dalton Trumbo.
Exodus and Spartacus.
And read what's on John Wayne, the blurb. He had just directed The Alamo.
The public will not only remember The Alamo, as it has for 124 years, but when Academy Award time comes, it will remember John Wayne as the producer, director, actor, and patriot.
Patriot.
Yeah, who has recalled this inspiring extent. And yeah, why am I...
You don't know who Dalton Trumbo is?
No.
You didn't see the movie Trumbo with the guy that played... that really good actor. He won 4 Emmys playing the high school teacher, becomes makes meth, and becomes a drug dealer.
Okay. No,
Dalton Trumbo was a communist who was one of the Hollywood 10, probably the premier one of the Hollywood 10, 2-time Oscar winner, won an Oscar under a pseudonym, and he had just been on the blacklist that had just been broken. And those were his 2 movies, Exodus. Kirk Douglas hired him to write Spartacus, and Otto Preminger at the same time hired him to write Exodus, 2 of the big movies, under his own name. That broke the blacklist. And who was one of the biggest proponents of the blacklist? John Wayne. John Wayne hated High Noon, which won Gary Cooper his 2nd Oscar. Carl Foreman wrote it, and he had to go into exile. These are things you should know about. These were the culture wars of the 50s and 60s. You know, there's no civility in politics. And he actually was triumphant that they drove Carl Foreman out of the United States. He later came back and became a producer of record.
Stephen Philbrook says, smooth jazz, please discuss Kenny G and his circular breathing.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That must be a technique that Kenny G uses. That guy can blow. Now, did you want to, was there someone on the show that you wanted to confront today?
No, I thought we were going to talk about John Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. A discussion about John Wayne is definitely really one of the hallmarks of afternoon drive talk radio. It's probably what Howie Carr's talking about right now.
It probably is.
It probably is. I'm
he
sure
is
that
a cultural icon. I'd say he's as big as Elvis.
Yes, I don't deny that.
And he's in the news, social media. They've dug up his grave. He died in 1979, I think in Boston, because he had cancer.
Right.
And he was at Mass General. And,
Jesus, buddy.
They've dug him out of the grave, and he is now the symbol of white nationalism.
They've dug him out of the grave. I object to that, even on Halloween.
You're not into movies, are you?
No, I like movies. I never saw any of the John Wayne movies.
Well, you can go to the theater May 5th and May 8th and see The Real True Grit.
Yeah.
Not the remake by the Coen brothers, which is almost like a shot by shot.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Remake
the
of the
Coen
movie.
brothers are great. I do enjoy the Coen brothers.
That's a homage, and this is the real thing.
Yeah.
He was the #1 box office star. He was in the top 10 for 25 years, which is a record.
Yes.
Clint Eastwood got close, like 21 or 22.
Right.
And surprisingly, Tom Cruise, too. They don't have that anymore because it's not relevant. But he is America. I wrote this and it'll be up because he has what did Lincoln say in his first inaugural address as the war was breaking out because South Carolina seceded, that he hoped that Americans would be able to call on the better angels of their nature. Now, Wayne
Was he the first one to use that phrase, better angels?
It's probably from the Bible. I think that's a phrase from the King James version. I was going to say St. James, like our good friend Joel Elber. Remember when he saw Victoria in her T-shirt and he waxed prophetic about St. Rushmore?
Thought I was going to have to hit the dump button there for a second. Wow. No. Oh, my goodness. Well, they are opening a restaurant together, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Because Americans, the good and the bad. You see, there's a big assault going on now about Robert E. Lee. Not only was he, and I learned something about Robert E. Lee I didn't really know. He owned the Washington slaves, George Washington's slaves, via the Custis family.
Oh.
And he was not very kind to them.
Right.
And I didn't know that. But, then they go into, he's a lousy general, too. I forgot that they were all traitors.
Wait, who? Robert E. Lee?
Yeah, General Robert E. Lee.
Our president would disagree with you.
He was a great general.
Trump was going on about it just the other day, what a great General Robert E. Lee was, and what a tremendous admirer he was of General Lee. And I myself, when I was a wee lad, a young urchin, I used to watch the Dukes of Hazzard and watch the Duke boys drive around in the General Lee. With the horn.
I always thought that song, just two good old boys.
Never meaning no harm.
I always thought that was a morning show ditty. Little did I realize till you educated me that was from some god-awful TV show of the 70s. Because I stopped watching TV when Happy Days hit #1.
You didn't like Daisy Duke?
No comment.
All right. That was a fun show.
I want some tacos, but I only have $1.
Oh, my goodness.
My other pants has the money.
Your other pants has the money.
It really does.
Oh, well. Well, what can
I don't have much money, and I ship them around.
Right.
Because I have more pairs of pants than money.
Michael Albert says Trump probably thought they were talking about the car. He probably did.
Oh, the car was called Robert E. Lee, that Charger?
It was called the General Lee.
Oh, that means I saw the show.
That means, yes, you did. Aha. We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
I'm very most happy to be calling. I am one of Mr. Glenn's sons. Papa Glenn asked me to call today of my birthday.
Oh, wonderful.
My name
Who is it?
Is Aruba,
I don't
Jamaica.
have
Oh,
my
I want to
headphones
take
on.
you. Bermuda,
Well, put 'em-
Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, raw meat. But you can call me raw meat.
Oh, raw meat. Hey, listen, I'm sorry. John Hopwood didn't have his headphones on. Can you repeat that, your name, so he can hear your name as well? We want to
Raw
My
meat.
name, my daddy Glenn called me raw meat, but my real name is Jamal, Aruba, Jamaica. Oh, I want to take you. Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, raw meat.
Oh, very nice.
Romney. I like. Is he a member of
But,
the
but
Romney
he calls
Club?
me, Daddy Glenn called me raw meat. He
Ra-
loves to really
raw
talk
meat.
about his meat, and he calls me little meat. He loves his little meat, Daddy Glenn does.
Wow. So is that what we should call? Is that what we should call you for short? Just little meat.
How about Little Neat?
Little Neat?
L-I
Now, he
apostrophe L.
just
Lil.
started up Glenn's School and Shelter for 12 to 18-year-old orphan boys.
Yes.
You have to be, actually, it's not orphan, though. We all have parents. For some reason, he adopts us when we have mommies and daddies.
I've noticed that
Well,
about
that's
him.
that's what you call American initiative. You know, thinking outside of
And
the
we have,
box. And Glenn always
Special
thinks
deal today,
outside
by
of
the
the
way,
box.
for his
Yes.
store. He has, Glenn's store has soccer equipment.
Oh.
Now,
About his football.
we only sell shirts because Glenn doesn't like us to wear pants.
Well, they
And we're
constrict
doing a
you.
buy one, get one free on soccer balls. So Glenn wants you to get 2 balls today from him.
Oh, very nice. Now, can you tell us? I mean, the store is in Ghana, so it's a little far for us to drive. Hopefully, we can order these things online.
By the way, the only store in the entire country of Ghana, the Gold Coast, where they speak Swahili. That's not one of the languages used in Ghana.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't?
Well, do you speak Swahili, Lil Meat?
Daddy Glenn.
Wow.
I just said I love my daddy Glenn.
Wow.
Glenn has done a lot for me. I'm 42 years old, but he's done a lot for me.
Well, from what I see, the pictures, you don't look like you're over 26 or 7 years old. Are those actually your pictures? The one with the
Glenn-
naked chest, oiled, and all that. Oh, I didn't
Daddy
offend
Glenn
you.
liked me to wear oil because he says I need to protect my skin here in Africa. Because there's a lot of... Daddy Glenn also confused me because Daddy Glenn talks a lot about bears and something about, like, twigs. And he keeps telling me that I'm
Twigs?
his bear and he's a twig. I don't know what that means.
Oh,
Twigs.
wow.
Well, bears when they're in the woods. I didn't think they had
I
bears
didn't.
in
We
Africa.
don't. I keep telling Daddy Glenn we don't have bears in Africa. I don't know why he keeps saying he wants to come here in August and be a bear.
Well, you know what it means, like here in Quebec, where Daddy Glenn's from. Well, he was born between Quebec, Newfoundland, and the United States, I think, or that was somebody else.
I think he was born on a bridge.
Right, the International Bridge.
Yes.
That bears, that when they're shimmying up a tree to get to the honey pot, I mean honey inside a tree, they often break twigs. You know, they
Sure.
shimmy up a pole. That's where you get the old political saying in England, you know, climb the greasy pole.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah. And you better beware what, you know, when you get up to the top.
I've seen Glenn shimmy
Now,
up a pole.
Daddy- might not be honey
Daddy
up there.
Glenn tell me about his greasy pole all the time. Maybe that's what he means since he's the mayor of Manchester.
Yes.
You mean oily or greasy?
Well, he's the people's mayor of Manchester. He is not
He's the
technically
people's mayor.
the people's. I mean, he's not technically the mayor.
He could be referring
It's my
to a
birthday today,
community.
and we doing a special soccer tournament by him. Because my name is Little Meat, we're doing a tournament called Beat the Meat. So Glenn wants everybody to beat the meat.
Well, that's very
So
exciting.
if you could beat me in a pantless soccer tournament today for my birthday, I'd be very much happy. I know Daddy Glenn have on his show right now. He's doing a whole show about me, and he baked a cake.
Yes.
And
In
I had
Swahili,
such
I
a good
think.
time yesterday talking to you, Maddie Connarton,
Yes, it was.
that I wanted to call back you. And actually, I only have a few seconds left on my Cricket Wireless account that Daddy Glenn provides me.
Oh,
So generously, we might add.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy Glenn is a very generous daddy.
And Little Meat is part of the white man's bird.
That's right. Yes.
So don't.
He wants to bring me here. I'm supposed to be coming to his house soon. He tells me he lives in Big Palace in Manchester because he says he likes to be in the Queen City, and I'm going to be the prince.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's kind of like a big dollhouse.
Yes,
Yeah, oh,
yes. Although at 42, I think you might be a little old for him.
Well, he's been oiled up.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
He's been
yes.
prepping me. He's been prepping me this whole time. I'm very happy. He know me since I was 14 years old.
Wow, no
And he
kidding.
raised me and groomed me and made me the man I am today. He took me away from my mommy and my daddy. My father was a lawyer, and my mother actually was a software engineer. And Glenn decided to reach out to me on a sub shop website that you guys I never heard of, but he said it was called Grindr, where you get like sandwiches. And he met me there.
That's true.
And he took me away from my parents.
Yeah, that is a New England chain, Grinder.
Yeah.
We're one of the few places that call a Subway sandwich a Grinder.
That's right,
When you
yes.
go to, there are Heroes like in New York and Subs other places, but it's a Grinder here.
So
in,
I go on site. I put, he says he likes oil on his grinders, so that's why all my pictures I wear oil.
You can even get an app. You just order your grinder right through the app, and
well, that's exciting.
yes,
Can you
it'll-
get it fully loaded?
I think so. Right to your door. Yeah, yeah, man.
Daddy Glenn likes me fully loaded. That's why he got me on that app, and that's why he adopted me since I was 14.
Well, that's
So I'm very happy. I'm one of 12 of his kids. I don't know if you knew that Daddy Glenn has 12 of us.
he does have a large family.
Yeah,
Like we're all going to come to New Hampshire, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to start up our own little pentless soccer league.
It's too bad you weren't here today because we're having the Taco Festival, which stretches from the end of Elm Street, because we're the only major city that has the main drag has two dead ends.
Yes.
And this just stretches out. It's very exciting. And do you remember the first one where Daddy Glenn, I'm talking to Maddie now, Maddie C. He sent the Honorable Joel Elber out because they were judges, and, you can't cover all 69 tacos.
Right.
The people, 69 outfits.
Locations, yes.
And that's a true number, 69. So I wouldn't say Daddy Glenn hoodwinked Joel, but he sent him to, male-oriented bars. Yeah. It was quite exciting for Joel. He'd never had the specialty taco.
Right.
I won't mention the establishment because
I'm kind of confused, though, because Daddy Glenn tells me he hates tacos, but he loves hot dog eating contests.
Well, this was
He always tells me he hates the taco. He said he used to be married to somebody that had tacos, and now he only likes the hot dogs and sausages.
Oh yeah, he lost the taco stand sometime after they won that disco dancing contest. Remember? Or was that with his aunt? His auntie.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Auntie Mame or Auntie Dolly or something.
But he used to get the sausage cruller from Bill's Donuts all the time.
And Joel, remember Joel made a damn fool of himself raving about the tube steak and white gravy taco.
Right. Wow.
I cringed when I heard about it.
Yes, yes.
Joel is a good natured, a simple soul in many ways.
Oh,
but
right.
Maybe we'll find him someday.
Yeah. So is Daddy Glenn.
He used to oil himself up.
Oh,
Joel.
yes. Oh, yes.
I got to go. Daddy Glenn be mad at me. I got to go back to his show because he needs to get ratings. I hear that you get ratings, Mr. Maddie, but Daddy Glenn needs ratings. So I'm going to go, but I want to God bless you, Maddie C. God bless you, Hopwood. God bless Daddy Glenn. God bless the Americas, and God bless Manchester, New Hampshire.
God bless us all, said Tiny Tim,
Yes.
who was a mentor to Glenn R.J. Ouellette.
And God bless Little Meat Willette.
Little Meat.
Little Meat, yes.
Little meat.
Yes.
Little meat. Raw meat.
Yes.
He loves his raw meat.
Yes.
You know, he wants to. He tells me he's going to come here in August and eat me up. He wants to eat little meat.
Wow, that's exciting.
I'd just say to avoid the tube steak.
Right.
Yeah.
But he tells me that's his favorite dish. I don't know. I got to go back and play soccer. Bye-bye now.
All right, bye-bye.
I tell you, the problems
wow.
we have with these exotic meats here in Manchester, there was the flank steak that turned out to be a donkey's rear end, which is fitting for the person selling it.
Right.
The runt selling the rump of an ass.
Well, that was quite the call. We've gone global, getting a call all the way from Africa.
Well, that was one of the benefits of you hooking up with Glenn R.J. Ouellette. He's in over 199 nations.
I wish you wouldn't put it quite that way.
What do you mean?
Hooking up, but no.
Isn't
but I
that,
understand what you mean. Yes.
Behind the Grindr app to hook you up with the subway?
No, we've never gotten grinders together, Glenn R.J. Ouellette and I.
What about the leather jacket?
Oh, well, that's that's from another lifetime ago, really.
Oh, yeah. The dry cleaning establishment and all that.
Michael Albert says, referring to the Dukes of Hazzard, I didn't learn until my adult days what good old boys really means.
Rednecks.
Yes. Fred Bonig says Robert E. Lee was a traitor, a revolt against the United States. Facts matter. Well, he may have been a traitor, but according to the president, he was a great man.
He was a great general, but, there were certain generals. Rommel was a great general, too.
I think Trump even went on to say that other generals have told him.
Yeah, what's his name? The chief of staff. But he was a great general. He was renowned for the.
Yes.
But he wasn't studied like Ulysses S. Grant was studied because he, in many ways, pioneered modern warfare, the siege. And, of course, Sherman, you leave your train. He anticipated George Patton. You just leave the supply train and you live off the land. And Patton's grandfather died at the Battle of Winchester. He was a Confederate general. The important thing about Lee is that he committed himself to reconciling the North and South because they could have waged guerrilla warfare.
Right.
That was a problem in Germany after the surrender. There was what were they called? The Wolves? And they would be sabotaging Allied installations. And, after there was the denazification process, but then they drew people in to administer Germany that had been in the Nazi Party from pragmatism.
By the way, Fred also said 8 years ago today. Wow, that was 8 years ago today. Barack Obama announced SEAL Team 6 had killed Osama bin Laden. I remember that vividly. That was 8 years ago, though. Wow. Doesn't seem possible. Michael Albert says Lee knew how to lead, but Grant was a better tactician. Grant was willing to sacrifice soldiers for results.
Let's be frank. The United States came so close to losing that war. It's amazing. And if you're talking about Petersburg, the North was close to breaking. They couldn't stand the losses. But for Sherman and the Battle of Atlanta, he came so close to losing that election, but he didn't because you had the victory in Georgia. But Grant, the casualties were horrific.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hello to Steve Pascucci, who joins us in the Facebook live chat.
There was something called Copperheads. They were Democrats that were pro-war. My hometown of Litchfield, my family has been involved in every war, getting back to King George's War, which was 1740, which was a precursor of the French and Indian War, which is better known because that led to our independence in many ways. Because there was a big tax burden that had to be paid off, and they wanted the Americans to pay it. And Americans don't like to pay taxes. Who does? Yeah. But we weren't in the Civil War. When I was down at the Litchfield Historical Society, which that was my family's place for over 200 years, I found out why. They were very pro. They were against Lincoln. And there was actually slaves in New Hampshire, I think into the 19th century, and they were against abolition. Wasn't popular. There were very few troops that were abolitionists that went to war over that, and mostly from New England. But there's an interesting thing that happened, that the Lincoln's greatest allies were the Union soldiers that had fought got into the South. They saw the horrors of slavery, and they also didn't want their loss to be in vain. But to pretend that this war was inevitable, the United States triumphing over the Confederacy, it wasn't that way. That's just revisionism.
Well, let's.
But it happened. In my mind, it'd be better to have left the South. Two things. I think it should be called the War of the Rebellion, which it was officially. They should have been kept like Rome used to keep its vassal states, take away their statehood. The war was essentially with the slaveocracy and about, the control over all that raw materials. And in England, people don't, here's the thing, and then you can go into your break. The English had abolished slavery and acted against slavery on the high seas, and England came very close to recognizing the Confederacy. Why is that?
Why?
That's Prime Minister Palmerston, by the way. Because of the raw materials. Those raw materials.
The raw meat?
The cotton went to English mills. And then the products were sent to America and other places. But we had the mills here. Our mills date back to what? Oh, they don't have the... what are we from? 1846. And I guess they started creating them, the Amesquite Company, a few years before. These were protected by a tariff, and South Carolina in 1832 almost seceded over the tariff because the tariff meant for the South to buy goods, it cost them more money than if they could have got English goods, and it also meant the North and the manufacturers of the North wanted those raw materials for themselves at their price. So it's much more complex. It was a war against the slaveocracy, a slave-based economy, a feudal economy. And but everybody, you got to simplify things, John Wayne simplified everything. Just take out the 45 and shoot them.
Right. All right, well, it is the top of the hour.
Climax.
It is the top of the hour, so I think we'll...
Climax, Nevada.
Oh, my. We have...
That's where Daddy Glenn is going to be vacationing.
That's right. No, he only staycations because he loves Manchester that much. All right, let's take a break. It is the top of the hour. I think this is appropriate. Glenn R.J. Willett is actually on this little ditty that I'm going to play, and I think it's appropriate for a variety of reasons, one of which being that it's Taco Day. Here's a little taste of the beef. Yo, M. Sizzle in the house. I heard my boy, Glenn R.J. Willett, the people's mayor. He got some beef. He's beefing with that vile and highly irrelevant MC Hammer. Well, Hammer, I ain't trying to play with you, dog. I ain't trying to play with you. I'm here to stick up for my boy, Glenn R.J. Willett.
I can take the beef.
He can take the beef. But, Hammer, it's time for you to taste the beef. That's what's up.
Yeah, dope rhymes? Yeah, dope rhymes? I can take the
Like
Yo, Hammer, all this beefing you doing with Glenn R.J. Willett is wickety whack. Glenn's beef is poison. If you eat it, you're likely to have a heart attack. And besides, what you thinking, stepping to Glenn? Don't you know he's French-Canadian? He ain't playing, dog. He'll slice you and dice you quicker than 1950s teen idol Fabian. Still keeping his pimp hand strong in Mitch Vegas, just like he always done in the past. I suggest you bow to the people's mayor before he unleashes and do it fast. Hammer, you sending 60 rolling? Don't you ever dare threaten the people's mayor. He older and wiser. He was wearing Kevlar when you still assembled genie pants on a conveyor. Hammer, watch yourself. Glenn might just turn your mother out, boo. And when he's done, he might even turn your daddy, brothers, and cousins out, too. You say you can't touch this? Glenn got snow on the roof. Don't worry about it. But come correct, or the people's mayor likely to shove his cane right up where you sit. Back in Van Buren, Glenn grew up the hard way. He knows what struggle is, dog. Whereas you bought your fame and then blew $30 million just trying to live too high on the hog. Too legit to quit and apologize? Hammer, now your fate is sealed. We always got Glenn's back in Manch Vegas. No worries, dog. Our eyes are peeled.
Yeah, dope rhymes? Yeah, dope rhymes? I can take the beef. I can take the heat in the kitchen, and that's why I stay in the kitchen.
That's what's up.
Yeah, dope rhymes? Is it hotter than the melon? Is it as hard as a coconut? Mine's hard. Mine's hard. Mine's hard. Is that dope rhymes? We're just about ready to have the phone go ding-a-ding. Hard. It's hard to crack my nookie. Is that dope rhymes? All right, we gotta go. We're running out of time for the show. Mine's hard.
Howdy ho.
Howdy ho.
What's happening, my peeps?
Hey, hey, hey. Are you going to say your intro?
It's your boy.
Where is Matt Connarton? I want Matt Connarton back.
I got a girl, she lives on the hill. She won't do it, but her sister will when she boogie. She do the tube snake boogie. Well, now boogie little baby, boogie woogie all night long. Blow your top, blow your top, blow your top.
Jesus, buddy. I mean, it's not funny. It's nothing.
Welcome back. It's hour number 2. John doesn't know that because he doesn't have his headphones on. Matt Connarton Unleashed. We are live on WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Streaming at WMNHradio.org. We're also, of course, on Facebook Live on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And today is Taco Tuesday. Our taco correspondent, Peter White, is the head judge, apparently. And he's going to be calling in at some point to update us. And John Hopwood is here.
Hey, I got a trivia question. It has to do with the movies and John Wayne.
Oh,
in
Jesus,
a way.
Okay.
Huh, what was that?
Oh,
hey,
virtual John Hopwood butting in. Maybe
you're gonna get me like what was the guy's name? Yason?
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's not into the John Wayne discussion.
I hate being bored.
Oh my goodness! Well,
I'm getting the F-bombs. They're loading up here.
Well, oh my goodness!
No, grow up.
Well,
grow up, live in the real world.
now virtual
right?
virtual
this
John
is the
Hopwood,
real world.
Virtual John Hopwood is being very rude, and I apologize.
To the real John Hopwood.
I mean, yes, I know. I mean, that's the irony of it. I'll tell you. Wow.
Who said? This is a movie quote, and it's by a character who the actor who played him was nominated for an Oscar the same year Duke won his Oscar for True Grit. I ain't a real cowboy, but I am one hell of a stud.
Is that Ryan Gorman?
No, but it does sound like Ryan Gorman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. His daughter also won an Oscar, popularized tattoos, and was married to some blonde-haired actor who I couldn't stand.
Who gives a Who gives a damn?
I don't think virtual John Hopwood really appreciates your question.
A real John Hopwood doesn't never appreciate how obnoxious
my
John
goodness.
Hopwood was.
Well, hello to CK Trowbridge, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. My goodness. Well, what can you do? You sound upset with virtual John Hopwood.
Well, we have talked about that. Listen, remember, like I said, get a virtual John Hopwood. And then when I heard him, I was like, good God.
Yes,
I had flashbacks.
Thank you.
Oh, are you out there?
It's
Darryl,
what?
just sit down for a second.
It's from what? Mint Bistro. Okay. Thank you, Darryl. Darryl Dion is... Oh, yeah. Well,
I already had my taco.
He had some tacos earlier.
Come
Thank
back.
you.
We're trying to talk about John Wayne, and he's not interested.
Darryl Dion just brought me a taco. That's wonderful.
How can somebody be interested in John Wayne?
Oh, my God. I'm so devastated.
Wow. Boy.
That F-bomb keeps loading up.
I don't know.
You better keep a finger on the button.
On the dump button?
The stick it sucks.
Well, I will. I will do that. Oh, my goodness. Boy, you and virtual John Hopwood just don't see eye to eye.
Geez, when I first heard, because I had heard about it, because, I hadn't been listening to the show, and
yes.
And I heard that. I can't remember where you were using it, and it was like, my God.
Oh, wow.
It triggered the old...
You don't have anything to say.
Oh, my God.
I have lots to say.
He's very mean to you.
That was...
about 7 or 8 inches.
And he brags.
What?
He's a braggart. Virtual John Hopwood.
I thought it was 5 in the slack.
Oh, about 7 or 8 inches.
Well, that's not what he says.
Well, he's a liar.
Oh, okay.
The only way, we won't get into that.
All right, well.
Jeez, how much dope have you smoked? I mean,
Not enough.
Hardy, right? God.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Virtual John Hopwood is just being very aggressive today.
What about virtual John Hopwood?
I haven't heard from him yet today, but
where did he come from?
CK Trowbridge says you all are making me hungry. Off to lunch. All right,
for
CK.
tacos or hot dogs?
Oh, well,
we don't discriminate. There must be something in between, right?
Right. Well, I suppose
the genderless food stuff.
Yes. Well,
and my bowels were in an uproar. You can see it on the show.
Yeah, you had a difficult...
That's why one taco's enough for me.
Right. Exactly. I think you've learned your lesson.
Thought I had like $6 in my pocket.
Oh.
And I can call in for the pepperoni pizza later.
All right, I think we've heard enough of virtual John Hopwood.
Why is he making you hungry with all the food talk?
Pizza makes me fall asleep.
Does it?
Yeah,
because it's too heavy. The cheese,
and it also gets my bowels in an uproar.
Right. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen to virtual John Hopwood, of course, because he's virtual.
My neurons weren't wired on a matrix from a gambling program used on your social media. I mean, my God.
Well, I'm not sure if that's true with virtual John Hopwood.
I would use the word algorithm.
Right.
Virtual John Hopwood is so old. It's old-fashioned.
I know.
Although algorithm's even more old-fashioned, but yet it's hip nowadays. Can we use the word hip?
You can use hip
like
or hep. Yes.
You like hep.
Yes.
Well, and then there's hop.
Yeah. Yes. You're very critical of virtual John Hopwood.
I hear that the real...
I'm not an imbecile.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Sometimes you can be, John. And I hear that the real John Hopwood is going to challenge the 2 mayoral candidates to appear on the morning show on alternate Fridays and sing karaoke with him.
Wow, no kidding.
Oh, yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I don't know who came up with that idea, but,
Right.
why not?
Right, yes. Well, I agree.
Daryl, how many tacos have you had? That's all. I only had one, too.
Yes.
I had a good fish taco from Margarita's downstairs.
Oh, wow.
I wound up eating part of the foil.
Oh, I don't. I don't. I don't like fish. Ugh. Well, I'll tell you.
When do the food stamps? You can go down and pick up your cheese now.
Oh my! The virtual John Hopwood continues to talk about food.
It was very nasally in that one.
Yes. Well,
your allergies are acting up too, huh?
Oh, my allergies have been terrible. Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah, my allergies have been has been awful.
You're not funny. You're not anything. You're just a zero.
Oh, I don't know who he was talking to that time.
I think it was Yason.
Now, who's Yason? I'm not familiar with Yason.
The guy that virtual John Hopwood was parrying that day.
Oh, right, yes.
The guy who got him the F-bomb.
Oh, right.
It was an F-bomb.
Yes, that's true. I don't think you're supposed to swear.
Aren't you supposed to swear now?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't understand why this guy Yason, I heard something very creative the other day about this amoeba boy.
Careful. He gets very upset. That's very hurtful if you call him an amoeba. Darryl Dion from the morning show is here.
I'm sure Darryl Dion has seen a John Wayne movie in a theater.
I don't know who that is, and I don't care.
Oh, my goodness. Virtual John Hopwood is very rude to our guests.
You're not only a Philistine, but a helot, Matty C.
Come say it to my face.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Matt.
That's the John Hopwood you and I know.
Right,
Who likes to be in combat. Because I'm friends with Jeff Casella. We'll have a few laughs about
Yeah, well, let's say it. Come and say it in person.
Wow.
We have a few laughs because he'd seen it all.
Yes.
He'd been up at the VA hospital.
Right, of course, yes.
I wonder if your son's, Ben's never seen a John Wayne movie in a theater. He wasn't around when they were in the theater.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
They're releasing the True Grit.
The True
on May
Grit.
5th.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only one.
Yeah, and the remake was like a shot-for-shot remake. And as good as Jeff Bridges is, he's a treasure in himself.
Absolutely.
But John Wayne was John Wayne,
Can you see them on
the Duke?
You see these on TV, probably?
No, I guess you could.
I know what's on the TV.
Remember we talked about how that's triggering.
What, the knowing what's on the TV?
Yes.
I hate being bored.
Okay, well.
Classic ADHD, right?
Right, yes, well.
We got a hell of a crowd outside.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, that's good. I'm glad it's a success. I wondered with the rain. Peter White is supposed to be calling in at some point. He is, of course, the
judge.
Yes, and our taco correspondent.
I'll send him a message.
But and I found his hat earlier in the restroom.
Did you?
The restroom? So I brought his hat.
You mean the Glen R. J. Olette Memorial Outhouse?
No. I mean the bathroom here.
Where the flower pot maven set up shop for his tacos?
No, I don't know about that.
My brain is clogged with all sorts of stuff. Twinkies.
Oh, you know what happened?
Virtual John talks about food all the time. Yes, go
I was
ahead.
going up to the VA because I'm now like the VA correspondent for Carol Robideau, Manchester Inkling.
Yes, congratulations.
And my car overheated, so I eventually waited, open up the cap, which, it's a new type of system. Oh, my God, there was this plug of like orangey red grunge in there. No wonder why the heater was acting up all.
Probably.
Once I took it out, I had heat.
What was it, cheese?
Oh, it was disgusting.
Orangey red grunge?
I still have some of it on my
What kind
hand.
of car are we talking about?
2006 Chevy Impala, great car. Never had any trouble with it. One of the GM, after the GM recovered. And
Okay, so did the cooling system go funky?
Well, I didn't have the $100 to have it flushed out. And then I was going to do it myself, and we got the cold snap, and you can't do it. So
It's a little tough. It's really tough.
yeah, but
Jackass.
I've been called worse, virtual John Hopwood.
Since the inception of the emission control system, people generally can't work on their own cars.
Right. Oh, yeah, you can't even get your
The
hands
wrench
into
has
them.
been taken out of all those backyard mechanics.
When I was a kid in the 60s, my father, that's how he relaxed. And he once had me and my brother, we did a $300 car and then sold it working on it. But,
Those are the days you could lift the hood and see the engine.
and there was all junkyard. There was a junkyard in Goffstown. You could just go right up there and get parts. Because a General Motors car, no matter what, you could get a part for it.
Absolutely.
but you can just get your body and sling it in there. But when anybody's father was working on a car, like on a Saturday, every kid was like out gathered around looking in. I was fascinated by cars.
Yeah, my brother was. I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't?
No, I was in. Strangely enough, I was in the car business for 25 years, and I hate cars.
You hate what was your?
I worked in service.
What was your mark dealer?
Oh, many. I worked at Mercedes, Honda, Cadillac, Oldsmobile.
So you were the
I was all
top.
over the place.
Yeah, my stepmother was an executive at General Motors, but the final one was GMC and Oldsmobile, and I can't remember. Cadillac, I don't think was part of it, but Pontiac won over. They always had these divisions.
Yeah.
Well, you're not a car person. Remember the
Who gives a damn?
Oh, you weren't a car person. So.
No. My brother loved cars.
Oh, I love them too. And
You're a bore. You don't have anything to say. You're not funny. You're not anything. You're
here's
just
somebody that
zero.
doesn't know John Wayne. He doesn't like cars.
That's true.
You're stupid. But you're an Uber driver.
No, well,
Nice hat.
Oh, everybody's got. I could put on a hat too, and then all four of it, because Peter White left his hat. I could put this on.
I'll send him a message,
and then we all have hats.
Call in.
So Ben Dion is here as well. So
I'll just say the late '60s, those muscle cars, they were beautiful, just beautiful works of art.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people in the '60s and '50s, the fathers of the baby boom generation, they loved their cars more than they loved their wives.
I think in some instances you're right.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
Jeez, did you have to smoke that crap too?
Wow.
Both were equally as difficult.
Well, that's geez. So.
Oh boy. Wow. What a stunning life you must have. What a stunning worldview.
Oh, this is getting a little old.
We should explain to Ben that the computer's been taken over by virtual John Hopwood now.
What happened to?
And he's been tangling with the real human John Hopwood. It's quite
I'm ready to
no-win
I've been
situation.
ready to F-bomb.
It's
many
quite.
times.
It's quite. Well, I don't think you're allowed to.
Aren't you supposed to swear now?
No, we cannot do that.
No swearing.
And I have to hit the dump button.
The last thing about cars, I could always tell the social class of anybody if they could fix a car. Because if you brought up middle class or lower middle class, working class, but lower middle class, you had to fix the car because you inherited like the family bomb, and you could keep it going with a screwdriver and a few wrenches.
That's
but
it.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
It's sad. It's sad because it took out a whole industry.
Oh yeah, a great
just
auto
wiped it
mechanic.
out. Wiped it out.
Yeah.
You know, my brother was a
Jesus,
mechanic for
buddy.
years, and his transition into the computerized car was unsuccessful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You have to have training. You have to go to school. You have to learn how the computer works, how to plug
all
in
the
systems
certifications.
checks. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a different
he was
world.
a good mechanic until then.
And my mechanic dates back when, he was my mechanic when I left, and now I'm back. He was working on a Beamer, and he said it's just like a cash cow in many ways. When something goes wrong in that, it's like a fortune. But they are beautiful cars.
I'm taking my hat off to you. You got me.
Hey, there's Ben. Who you guys having on tonight?
I'll tell you what.
Not John Hopwood.
No?
Whoa.
How about virtual John?
What about
Hopwood?
virtual John Hopwood? Because if he just takes over
I don't
the
know if we
computer,
could handle that.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, you heard Carol. She's shepherding me towards a more positive.
All right.
What would you call it? Point of view.
yes. Well, I think that's wonderful. Are you are you writing for? Why are you laughing? Are you writing for?
Because you guys have never seen a positive John Hopwood.
I didn't know that existed.
Fought.
He did that one
Outside
time.
of the
So are you writing for Manchester Ink Link on a regular basis?
Yes.
Excellent. Like
That's
how
awesome.
Like how regular? Like every
You
week?
put
or?
stuff in the pipeline.
Oh.
She's published something. I'll have 3 pieces. There was one today about the clothesline project, which we can. That's worthy of a show. It's about.
Well, hold that thought because we have a call.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, Peter White. How you doing? How you guys doing?
All right.
It's our taco correspondent. How are you, sir?
The king.
We're good. We're in the limo. We have a few contest winners here. We got Adam Furious from Rock 101. We got
Great.
Trevor.
Oh, I know Adam.
So far, we've had about, what'd you say, Adam, 20? About 20 tacos.
Wow. Yike.
Do you eat them all?
And I'll tell you what, we're feeling it already.
Wow. You've probably had enough tacos to make Eric Gagnon cry.
Right.
Wow.
You're absolutely right.
He was outside.
But we do
Was
have,
he?
He was outside,
We do have
yeah.
some drinks flying around also in this limousine that you're seeing flying around.
Are you
the taco
downstairs?
store. So it's all working out, guys.
Excellent.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice.
But do you eat all the taco, or are you just eating a portion?
Well, I was hungry at first, John. I was hungry. I didn't eat all day, so
Yeah.
I ate pretty well at first. Now I'm just taking bites.
Right.
Good job. Good job.
Are you
Yeah,
going to eat
there's
them
no
all?
way you could do it.
Are you going to sample
But
every
it's
one?
fantastic. I'm going to tell you some of the good ones that I think we've had so far.
Yeah.
Kasaki Japanese food there over on Lake Avenel.
Oh, wow.
Great dessert taco at Baked.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's really filling up down here. So
Very nice.
A lot
Very
of fun.
nice. Good.
Have you been up to Republic, which you must have been there, because they had
we
a great
have
one a
been
few
to
years ago.
Republic. We have, and that was good too. I forget. I have a list here, but I'm having a hard time reading it.
Tequila.
When did you guys start drinking?
Oh no, we haven't really been drinking heavily, but there is there are refreshments here.
Excellent.
Well, very good.
Yeah, it's good. But like I said, I think Kasaki so far has been my favorite so far.
Cool.
Can we make book on that?
Oh, I
Can
don't,
you what?
I don't think there's no wagering.
There's no wagering
No,
on these?
no wagering.
No wagering.
Very, very important. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, no wagering. But it is it's fun. We're on Hanover Street right now, heading up Hanover, getting out of the way here. When we stop, we usually get about 5 different tacos, and we just kind of chill out and eat the tacos. So it's a lot of fun, though.
Yes, it is. I'll bet.
I wouldn't imagine you can chill out for too long, though, if you got 69 places
who's
to
there?
hit.
'Cause I'm having a hard time hearing you. Is John Hopwood there?
John Hopwood is here. We also have
Okay, I heard him.
we also have virtual John Hopwood.
What a jackass.
Okay.
and Ben and Darryl Dion are here as well.
Oh, Ben and Darryl Dion.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I love those two.
Yes.
I didn't like the way you said that, Peter.
Yeah, I noticed.
What do you mean?
Beers.
Ben
and
and
Darryl
Darryl Dion. It sounded very condescending.
Oh, and I think Easy G just stopped in.
Oh, really? Yeah, he yelled at me across the thing. It was all of a sudden I heard, "Hey!"
Yeah.
And don't forget,
It was easy.
don't forget at 6 o'clock, Glenn and his virtual children will be descending on the taco.
All right, listen, we're getting another load of tacos here, so I got to go, guys.
Enjoy.
But, listen, have a great show. Have fun, and we'll have all the results tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Peter White, thank
All
you so
right.
much.
Have a
Bye-bye.
great day, guys.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, Peter White from the Morning Show with Peter White and our taco correspondent today. Very exciting.
I was hoping Darryl was going to have what is it, Brussels sprout taco, for like WMNH.
Yeah.
I just had some at the North End Bistro. They're so good.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been
Had
there.
some at the Foundry as well.
Oh, cool.
Foundry was excellent. Really good.
We should do a taco.
I have herpes.
A hairpiece?
What? I don't know.
He
what
has a hairpiece?
Who has a hairpiece? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
What are you
I thought
talking
I heard
about?
hairpiece.
You just, God, you're
you know.
strange. You just say weird stuff.
I have tinnitus. I'm not an imbecile. No, but I have tinnitus.
I might have to use those on my show.
Oh, well.
I have to use those.
The thing is, I mean, if it happens,
They're
it happens.
triggering.
He just takes over like Hal from 2001. Virtual John Hopwood, virtual Dave Ridley, the ghost of John McCain. It's like I'm never by myself in this room anymore.
That's good.
Yeah, it's remarkable. We're a little unsure though. We were talking about it the other day about the ghost of John McCain.
Yeah.
Because someone was speculating that it was Father Bruno Sarducci when he called in, We were trying to figure out, like, what happens, because he's in purgatory right now, we're thinking.
You think?
And then eventually, once he's done there and moves on to heaven, will he cease to haunt the studio?
Probably
John
not.
McCain or Guido Sarducci?
No, the ghost of John McCain. I'm not sure how all this works. I've never been dead.
Well, you go through the Bardo.
You go the Bardo.
Bardo for it's usually around like 45, 60 days, but it can stretch about 2 years.
Oh, geez,
if you've been particularly wicked.
It seems like the ghost of John McCain has been here for months and months, but he was very pro-war, so he's got a lot to answer for, and he clearly was not a war hero.
He was a warrior.
I mean, you know, clearly. So I don't mean to, I don't know. Am I being too edgy?
Jesus, buddy.
Yeah, the virtual John Hopwood thinks I'm getting a little carried away, I guess. I still don't know what's in the box. You have not told us what is in the box.
I was about to ask.
Yes.
Are those cookies?
It is an amoeba-like creature I found in the woods.
Oh my goodness, is that Yuglis? Did you guys
Yuglis?
Did you guys hear Yuglis call my show the other day?
No.
He's a woodland creature. He called, and he did say he was going to be stopping by.
What is that?
Yeah.
I like the
it's
sound
a big cup.
A big cup.
Where'd you get
Aquarius.
That's a giant cup.
Where'd you get that?
Probably at some place like Walmart.
You don't know where you got it?
That's kind of weird.
I got it so long ago, I don't remember.
Oh.
And you're just unwrapping it now?
No, I'm sending it to my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
My brain is clogged with all sorts of stuff. Twinkies.
Those light bulbs?
No, I was sending her another one, too.
Jeez.
So you're sending her light bulbs and a giant mug?
How many mugs does she need?
It's the thought that comes.
Absolutely.
You know, you're a newlywed now. I've known this dame for 15 years or so.
Oh.
Oh, jeez, it's been besmirched.
Oh, no.
It's a good thing I didn't send.
Oh.
And
This one's Mrs. Always Right. I'll sell it to you for $6 so I can just pick up some tacos.
No.
I think I got it for like $2.
Wow.
Mrs. Always Right. If you want to have a happy life, this should be your mantra.
See, I don't need a mug.
Always right.
I don't need a mug to say that. I just always treat her right. So I don't need that.
She's always right.
I know she's always right.
There you go. It took me many years.
I take my advice from Jerry Seinfeld on
Meet Steinfeld?
on comedians in cars getting coffee. You guys ever see that show?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
That's my favorite thing. Him and I think it was Julia Louis-Dreyfus he had on the show. And
some great episodes.
They were talking about marriage, and his advice was, his wife says, "You're wrong," and he just goes, "I know."
Right? Yeah.
It's true. Jeez, how much dope have you smoked? I mean, you know, hardy, right?
Wow, virtual John Hopwood is really surly.
He's off the rails, man.
I know. My goodness.
I'm glad I don't have to live with him.
I know. That would be terrible. Wow.
If intelligence was electricity, this guy couldn't spark a firefly's ass.
That one. Oh, no. Why? That was a clever line.
Jonathan, or whoever it was that called, was right. I heard that one from my father in 1966.
Oh, really? Yeah, it did sound a bit dated. But that's all right. I thought it was funny.
Everything old is new again.
Right, yes.
Like John Wayne.
Oh, like John Wayne, yes. Yes. We had a fascinating discussion about John Wayne earlier. The listeners loved it. Did you guys hear earlier in the show one of Glenn's adopted sons from Ghana called?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Little Meat. It was great. He's it was nice to speak with him. He talked about Daddy Glenn.
He spoke some Swahili, which is not normally spoken in Ghana.
Right. Yeah, it was very exciting.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't know why that's funny, Darryl. It's Glenn is multicultural.
Apparently.
He adopts American children, too.
Well, that's
I thought
good.
he was bicultural. Quebec and
well, you might be thinking
the United States.
You might be thinking of something else. Yeah. Yeah,
I've been thinking about John Wayne, but nobody wants to talk about it.
buddy.
Well, John Wayne is a fascinating topic, but
it actually is, and is burning up the social media.
Is it really?
Somewhat.
Whoa, wow, okay.
Well, it's more fun to talk about than Robert E. Lee. He never owned slaves.
John Wayne never owned slaves?
No, he didn't.
Are you sure? I have a terrible feeling someday we're going to find out that he did.
I know why Trump doesn't talk about John Wayne. Do you know why?
No.
You never hear him talk about John Wayne. His two wives were Mexican. That's true.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, they spent so much time shooting the movies. Well, see, now I'm going to get into that. I know everything about I've written over 600 biographies
Yes.
on the Internet Movie Database. They did. They shot a lot of movies down in Mexico because it was cheaper.
Right.
And a couple of cinematographers and a lot of the actors were actually big stars in Mexico. I know a lot about Mexican cinema too. Of course, I can't speak Spanish. Can did you learn Spanish?
No, I took
Really?
French in high school.
My father told me in 1973, learn Spanish, not French. It's the language of the future. But who listens to their father, right?
Oh,
Right,
well,
Darryl?
Jack, you're exactly right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I like Virtual John over there.
I don't.
well, he just he haunts the. What's that?
It's a virtual Brendan.
Oh no, he's
Is that the end, Jim Morrison?
Bill. Oh, it's a big Bill's Donuts. Bill's Donuts is back, baby. That's wonderful. Great work.
Oh, the wasabi.
Looks great.
Yes.
Looks
Great.
fantastic.
Yes, yes.
The coleslaw, Joe Lavasser is suing for the intellectual property rights because Bill stole his recipe for the coleslaw.
Oh, wow. I know Glenn.
Theo's has the best coleslaw.
You think?
I love coleslaw.
I know Glenn enjoys the sausage cruller.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, it's not on there, but
Sausage
should be. Oh, it is delicious. I'll have to admit.
What is
Wow.
Heidi Hamer like?
I don't know. I've never even met Heidi. Why are you asking me?
Well, I thought she's your pen pal or something.
Heidi Hamer?
Who gives a Who gives a damn?
Apparently, virtual John Hopwood doesn't care what Heidi Hamer likes.
I've known her since 1964.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, so you should know what she likes.
I don't know what she likes in crullers.
Oh, well, why don't you ask her?
Maybe she'll call in.
Oh.
I don't know who that is, and I don't care. All right, the Dions are here.
Yeah.
Let's have them say a few words.
Yes. What would you?
No, grow up.
What do you?
Grow up. Live in the real world.
What do you have coming
I
up?
made money writing about
I don't
movies.
think we even need a guest. I'm just going to play Virtual John Hopwood.
Well, if he decides to interject, I mean, there's not much that
Seriously.
there's not much you can do about it. I mean, he just, what can I say? What do you guys have
I'm
coming?
not an imbecile.
What do you guys have coming up on the weekly Dion tonight?
Well, this week we have Amber Cannon. She's from Unchartered Tutoring. She does some work with art and science. And
Is that Ryan Gorman?
No, what's her name?
Where'd you get that one?
That's a good one.
Yeah, but it's not Ryan Gorman. It's Amber something, right?
Amber Cannon.
Yeah. Virtual John Hopwood doesn't listen very well.
Doesn't follow along.
No.
He's got tinnitus.
Yeah.
And other problems.
Yeah, so it should be pretty good. I met her about a month ago at an event, and her program is in some of the schools and after school program.
Oh.
So I believe she went to school for art. So we'll talk about some art and science, and I think she brought some stuff for us to take a look at too. I think she left her bag outside the door. So
was that hers?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I wondered what that was.
I'm pretty sure that's hers.
Actually, I thought that was John's.
I'm assuming she's at the taco tour. So we'll be talking about the taco tour a little bit too.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
What kind of bag?
Delicioso.
Yeah.
What kind of what?
What kind of bag?
Just a bag.
I have a box.
Right. No, out there's a bag. I think there were two bags.
I think it's her stuff.
Is she a bag lady?
No.
No, she's a nice
Here's
lady.
like a poster child of, well, everybody in the world thinks fatuous white guys, Americans, are imbeciles and privileged and just plain worthless.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
What's that
John
about?
Hopwood. I don't know. I don't know what he's
Trump?
talking about. What does that
I
have
think
to
that's
do?
the best part is you don't know the context.
Right.
But
yeah.
it could, knowing,
Sounds like Trump I'm talking
knowing
about.
John, it could be anything.
Right. That's true.
I can
yes.
tell you it wasn't about Joyce Craig.
Fair enough.
Well, good. Good. All right.
Who I'm challenging to a karaoke.
Where?
Well, hopefully on the morning show.
So karaoke on the radio.
Right. I'm going to challenge, if Peter, gives the get-go, I'll challenge, 1 week it'll be with the mayor, Craig, and then with Victoria Sullivan to join me in a karaoke song.
I think they're both actually the taco tour, too.
I wouldn't be holding my breath over that event.
You never know.
I would
I got a pretty
I would
good
want to see
idea.
that.
We could always have a virtual Joyce Craig. I don't know about virtual.
Okay.
Victoria Sullivan was on the Honorable Gary Hopper show 2 weeks ago.
She's been on there many times. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's been on there quite a
I'd
bit.
never met her before.
I think she was just on...
She's the challenger to Joyce, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think she was just on the Joe and Will show, too.
much.
I want to say
The less we say about
Couple
that
days
show, the better.
We have a call. We'll grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this? Hello?
You going to go out?
Oh, hello, guys.
Oh, it's
Hey,
Easy G.
Easy
Is that
G.
virtual Easy G?
No,
Oh,
that's-
God, I'm already home because I'm so upset that my health is so rotten now. And I can't even enjoy myself for more than an hour about my feet throbbing. Oh.
Oh, wow. Well, that's
He's in a lot of
terrible.
pain. He's in a lot of pain.
I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but I had to complain to somebody besides my mother, I guess.
Right. So, but you
I
make
did see a little bit of the taco store, hung out with Rhonda, her boyfriend Nathan, and they kind of went their own way. And then I saw like 10 minutes of Amanda McCarthy, and then talked to somebody and told them nicely. I said, I got to go home. I said, I know, I don't mean to be rude, but
yeah.
usually it's not my style. Usually I listen to anybody who wants to talk to me, but when I'm feeling so rotten,
Right, but you
told
will.
I told the person, I said, well, we'll have to talk another day. I said, I got to get out of here.
Right, but you will. You will be on the morning show
Don't
tomorrow,
you hate
correct?
that when that happens? Though you hate that when that happens. You just gotta. Your health gets in your own way. You want to stay longer. But it was so cold and miserable outside.
It's pretty cold.
Unfortunately, the weather was not the best. Yeah, to admit that.
What did you want to say, Darryl? You were.
Are you going to make it on the show tomorrow, Easy?
Yeah, I'm going to do the show tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Oh, good, good.
I'll do the last hour. Yeah.
He actually listened to
I
you
know
while you
I'm
spoke.
supposed to go to Seeds of Hope, but I probably won't be
Rare.
able to make it to the end of the show.
That's okay.
Oh,
I'll try to make it at least an appearance because I know Mike Doyle got me a ticket. So
It's supposed to
I
be
feel
a big
obligated
crowd
to do
tomorrow,
it for a
too.
while, so.
Yeah, you should definitely be here since Mike's helping you out with the.
Right. And I know at least in that event I can sit down most of the event, so that's a good thing. This
Yeah,
event tonight
definitely.
was
Jesus,
Debbie
buddy.
Downer for me just because you have to do a lot of walking.
When you have Mike Doyle on, you should ask him about the Gatz's Stable, the horse, Vacoma. They actually
Let's say a
have
quick hello. I'll be listening to the weekly
horse.
Dion and have a great show.
Thanks, Easy.
All right, thanks, Eric. Happy birthday.
Sovereign Stables, which is the Gatz's family stable, has a horse in the Kentucky Derby.
Yes, they do.
It's a great. I think it's great from Manchester.
Absolutely, and I think they've gotten a little bit of a boost since the favorite has been scratched.
Right.
Omaha
and
Beach has been scratched, so that'll open up things for everybody.
Mike is very much into horse racing.
He owns
if I
the
remember.
horse.
Mike Doyle?
No.
Oh yeah, we think Mike Gatz is.
Gatz,
Yeah,
that's right.
Mike. It's Mike and Ted, and
I don't know who
and
that is, and I don't care.
Mike's son.
Yeah,
You know.
I think every Kentucky Derby they have this a show talking about it, and everybody gets to select the number. And I don't know what happens after that. I won't be here tomorrow.
You won't. Oh, you won't be. Oh,
okay.
because Easy G's coming in. Are you avoiding him?
No,
That'd make him quite emotional.
he was very emotional, very emotional.
Oh, so I have to. So you were here for that.
Oh yeah,
Because I told Peter earlier, because I ran into Peter White here as I was coming in. He was getting ready to take off, and he was telling me. So I heard part of the show the other day, and Amanda McCarthy, by the way, is wonderful.
Is she great or what?
I've interviewed her a bunch of times over the years on another show that I do, and just fantastic.
What a talent!
But I heard you guys talking about Eric crying, and I thought when I heard you guys talking about it, I thought you just meant he teared up a little while she was. I had no idea.
It was full on. I was sitting at where John is, and she's playing, and she primarily dedicated the song to Eric.
Oh, wow.
So I think it was that personal aspect of the tune that got him. I mean, he was flowing. It was flowing.
And then Peter found the clip for me.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh my God, he really was."
You mean that
It's
is
a
really
beauty.
him?
That's really him.
I thought it was a sound effect.
No.
That you were just kidding.
That's him.
Well, you got to give it to Eric.
he really had a hard time with it because it was very emotional. To him, and that's it was a beautiful moment. I don't, and we were wise to not make a light of the moment and let it happen.
Right. I would never make light of anything like that either. Hey, it's not my fault.
We had
blame
to hold
Peter,
ourselves
blame
back.
Peter
believe me.
White. Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
It was but we both recognized it was important to Eric, and we left it as is, and it worked out great.
Yeah.
She sang she's a talent.
Oh yeah.
She really is a hell of a talent.
Yeah.
I think she's still out there too.
Yeah, I can hear her. I can hear her playing. I recognize the voice.
Really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had never heard about her or heard her sing, and excellent. Really good.
Yes.
Sweet voice.
Yes. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. And then, so Mike Doyle's going to be on tomorrow as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chrissy's going to be
Fridays,
on.
yeah.
Chrissy's going to be here. Easy G. Should be a full house.
Oh, very nice.
If I'm not mistaken, maybe Nick Willard. I'm not sure about that, though.
I think he was supposed to be on Friday.
Yeah, he could
because
be.
there's
He
some
could be.
event that they're going to announce or something.
Well, the Seeds of Hope is tomorrow night.
Oh, it is
That's
tomorrow
we're all
night.
going to be there tomorrow night. I'm taking my daughter, and
okay.
Easy G has been invited to go with Mike Doyle.
Oh, very
which
nice.
is great.
Excellent.
This is great. Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Now, are you having a surgery soon? Did I hear you talking about that?
Yeah, I've been putting it off, and something happened this year that put the thing in a very, very bad place.
Yeah.
So I've decided to do the surgery in June.
Okay. Oh, in June, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the fourth one, but this one will be a little different because over the years, first surgery was 50 years ago.
Wow.
So this one, I've developed arthritis, so it's really, really gone out of control.
Yeah.
So they're going to put in some plastic parts.
Oh, okay.
I may be able to play golf again.
Oh.
Maybe.
Very nice.
I don't really know, but, not that it's important.
Yeah, you'll be like the $6 million man.
Well,
they can rebuild you.
$350.
$350 million?
No, $350.
Oh, right. You'll be the $350 man.
Yes,
That's great.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's going to be interesting. And the surgeries I had in the past, they would tape my shoulder to my body, so I wouldn't be able to move it for 3 months. This one is only 6 weeks, and I'm going to have just in a cast. I mean, just in a sling.
Yeah.
So I'll have a little bit more mobility, and it won't be so smelly.
And is part of that because just advancements and, and what they've been able to do?
Yeah.
You hurt your shoulder playing football?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember the play like it happened yesterday.
I hurt my back. Was happened in the Army during football of all things, but it happened. We were playing football in the Army.
It kept me out of numb. It kept me out of numb.
Yeah, as an official thing, and God, it's been at me for a long, long time. 30 years.
If I hadn't, injured myself this year, I probably would have avoided the surgery. But it's at a point now I can't lift my right arm up, and the trick is now for the next 2 months I got to try to use my left hand to do as much as humanly possible.
You'll be able to, because I lost my right hand for a while.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
I had to have surgery.
And the surgery is going to happen after the kids are out of school, so they'll be able to check in on me to make sure I don't kill myself.
You don't have bursitis, do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that keeps me awake.
It's been a tough few years.
Yeah, it's not. There's that famous saying. I saw it on All in the Family, and somebody says to Archie's 50, and he pretends he's only 49, and don't get old, he says. And he says, why do you say that? He says, you'll find out. And it's true. All the aches and pains that,
yes, indeed.
Now I know how my mother could tell the weather. She had rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from John Wayne to rheumatoid arthritis.
Yes. Wow.
How come you never feet me on my birthday? Oh, we're not talking about little feet, are we? Or is it little
on your birthday?
Little me.
I have no idea when your birthday is, but
Halloween.
Your birthday is on Halloween?
It is Halloween.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, I decided that, it doesn't matter what it's around Halloween, so it might as well be Halloween.
Oh, so it's not on October 31st.
Well, it's just like about Beltane, right? That's the Samhain, the beginning of the new year.
I'm not much of an expert on these things.
As you know, the slave owner, George Washington, whose slaves were owned by Robert E. Lee, by the way, via the Custis family. He was, when I was a kid, they used to say he was born 17th February, 1731, 1732.
Yeah.
Because of the old calendar.
Oh.
So, you can just have some fun.
Yes. Now, when is your next column in Manchester Inkling?
Well, it isn't a column.
What do you call it?
Well, just articles.
You don't use the word column anymore?
Well, I don't have a column.
Oh, I see, because it's not a regularly appearing thing. I gotcha. Okay, no, that makes sense. Yes.
I have an article there in Manchester Inkling today about the Clothesline Project, which is about survivors of military sexual trauma.
Mm.
And last week I had one about the new paradigm they're what do you call it? Rolling out at the Manchester VAMC. We are going to be the spearhead of I would call it a hub and spoke system, just because people have been talking about that when it comes to the war on opiates, and where the community and community healthcare providers are going to be part of the VA system.
Yeah.
And where they integrate the VA into the community, which is great.
Yeah.
A lot of good's happening up there.
No, that's good. I'd like to hear more about that another time when we have more time, actually.
Yeah.
Well, we are running out of time, so the weekly Dion is going to be up next at 6 p.m. with Ben and Darryl Dion. So thank you, of course, John Hopwood, for coming in. Thank you, Virtual Dave Ridley.
Yeah.
Thank you, Virtual John Hopwood.
Here's like a poster child of what everybody in the world thinks fatuous white guys, Americans, are imbeciles.
I guess he talked about John Wayne.
Just plain worthless.
I don't know. Let's see. Oh, thank you to Lil Meat for calling in earlier. That was exciting.
And let's have a round of applause for Daddy Glenn.
Yes, Daddy Glenn. What a wonderful father.
An international philanthropist. And, of course, our hearts and prayers go out to Easy G, who soldiers on.
Yes, he does, yes. I don't know why. All right, so we're going to wrap up. If you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. I got to go call into Dr. Kevin's show online, as I do the first Thursday of every month.
And husbands, remember, your better half is known as Mrs. Always Right.
Yes. Oh, by the way, hello to Heidi Hamer in the Facebook live chat, who says October 21st
Bill's
is
Donuts.
Master Johnny's birthday. And hello to Jeff Scumpy Lorenz in the Facebook live chat. All right, and we got to get out of here. Weekly Dion is next. I will talk at y'all a little bit later. Here's some Jamiroquai, virtual... What is this called? Virtual Insanity. To wrap up.
That should be your title of the show.
There you go. All right. Bye, everybody.
IPMNation.com.